This is our starting the boat procedure. Before we start with the engine, first you want to clear out the engine compartment to make sure that there's no fumes that are built up from the gasoline that's in there, because it is closed. So what we do there is we turn on our blower, let it run for about a minute. There's a fan back there that circulates fresh air into the engine compartment.
Would it be helpful to have the engine compartment open for a while before you start the boat?
It wouldn't hurt.
While you're cleaning it or whatnot?
Yeah, and checking your oil and things like that.
Okay.
It would certainly help. Hear it running?
I do.
No, you don't.
Torque.
Next, we're going to give the engine a start. In this position, it's in neutral. If you push on the button, pull this up, and go forward, you're still in neutral. So you won't go forward or backwards if you start the engine. And this way you can goose the engine and give it a little gas.
What makes you stay in neutral? You pressing that button?
Yeah,
The middle, that round middle
it.
button? Okay.
So anytime you start it, you want to start it in neutral for sure.
Is there a special, like, does it let you, when it's not started, push it forward or backward if you don't hit that button?
It's locked.
Okay, so it's like a safety
And
feature.
it won't move until you pull this little trigger up.
Okay.
That's what locks it in place. So let's try it out.
Does it normally start by now?
It takes a while.
Ooh, the hum.
Start it up and it's running at about 1,000 RPMs like this. It's 1,000 RPMs on the gauge.
Is that where it should be?
Yeah, it's a nice low number.
So what if it's like real high, like
It doesn't hurt.
4,000?
You can idle it higher.
But you
So
don't.
you're
You
still
don't
in-
need to
you're
though.
still in neutral. It'll warm the engine up quicker if you
Oh.
bring it up a little bit.
Is it burning more fuel by doing so?
Yes.
So you don't necessarily need to do it?
Engine's working harder. Typically, I start off with it running high like this, about 1,500 RPMs,
Mm-hmm.
until the engine starts to come up to temperature. Right now
What's
we're at about
temperature?
We're at about 100 degrees. When
And
it's at
what do you
full
want it to be?
temperature, about 175. Normal running temperature is about 175. You know how the engine stays cool back there?
Breezy air?
Water keeps circulating from the river through the engine's jackets.
So does that make the engine dirty? Like,
No, it's not part of the engine. It's just something that cools the engine.
oh, it's like on the outside of the pipes?
Whereas car engines cool themselves with air as you drive down the road, you know?
Yeah. So what did you just do now
I pulled back the throttle a little bit.
to make it softer? And now we're just in,
We're in neutral,
and it's a lot easier,
locked into neutral.
and you can't do anything.
Now
So-
if I want to go forward or backwards, I don't use the button anymore. I just use the trigger. So I pull it up and go forward, and the boat will go forward. Or I pull the trigger up and then go backwards, and the boat will go backwards.
Is there a brake on a boat, or you just have to finagle forward and backwards to like slow
The
down?
brake on a boat is the weight of the boat itself.
What
It's just
about
come to a stop on its own. Or you can use reverse if you want to slow down real quick. If you're coming into a dock and you want to slow down, you can use the reverse to slow it down.
So if you were to drop anchor in a lake or something, would you just turn the boat off in the middle, or would you just be on like neutral?
Well, for sure you wouldn't want the blades turning.
Oh, it's the propeller's turning right now?
No, it's not. It's in neutral. It won't.
Okay. That is very good to know.
So if you got somebody swimming in the back of the boat or something like that, or if somebody's behind the boat in the water, I wouldn't even turn it on in neutral. I would keep it off.
That's a safety procedure.
Right now, the props aren't turning.
So what's making that noise and us bump around in the boat?
What noise?
Like that noise.
It's the engine. It's the engine running.
But how's the engine running and us moving, but there's no propeller going?
I'm not moving. We're sitting still.
That's just movement from other boats?
You don't know that? You're dumb.
And this was Tom's fabulous teaching of how to start a Century boat. Any last words, Tom?
You're dumb.